See what happens. Might not get anybody, but that's nothing new. Uh, all right, let's see here now. Yeah, that's gonna do that because it's cold in here. That's why. Wow, freaking foot is got some cracking going on. Hello. I better turn that down. Okay. What's going on? Who we got in here? It'll work. Mm, who's this? Uh, such as potential spam may not be visible. All messages are visible. That's good. Yeah, I just got home from work, so I figured I haven't been really doing much for content, so might as well go live. See how everybody's doing, see what's going on. Uh, uh, let's see. Yeah, I had the throttle held open with the flathead screwdriver, but in order to permanently make it so that it runs without the screwdriver, I have to adjust that throttle screw to where the screwdriver was in order to keep it backed off enough to be able to run it. I did get some new parts for the car. It's been raining the past 2 days, so the car is covered with a tarp. And once the weather clears up, I have a brand new fuel line for it. I have two front brake hoses. Um, I have brake line. I have a hose for the gas tank for the back, the original. What else did I get? I think I'm going to go back to the auto parts store and get the one piece oil pan gasket set because right now I have a what is it, two pieces of cork on the side, the oil pan, and then the rubber things in the back. And those are really just meant for, like, if you have, room to put it on a table and, clean it up really nice and put the gasket sealer on it. But the other thing is with those rubber things on the ends, they don't stay where I want them to stay. And they keep pushing off and going into the oil pan. So I had the car up on the jack the other day and I put oil in it and it's running out of the back. So I don't trust the gasket set that they make for that anymore. The cork gasket that they use is so thin, it's like tissue paper. It doesn't hold nothing, and I've considered it to be like a waste of my time and money, spending $35 for a gasket that ain't worth 10. Um, Once that's done, let's see what else is there. It's just a matter of making sure the gasket or the carburetor gets gas. The fuel pump works. We know that. We know that the gas tank is not clogged. It doesn't have a bunch of garbage in it. So chances are it just needs to have a new line run from it to the fuel pump, and then the other hose is going right to the carburetor, so that should be fine. Every time I load up the bowls, the car does start up, and it will run on its own now, with the screwdriver holding the throttle open. So, and it doesn't have to be open too much, just enough to get the gas to go in there, which is good enough for me as far as that goes. I've been talking with Jeffro, and I think we pretty much both decided that in the long run, it's better for me to just put the car away and just yank things apart, even if I got to get the heads done one at a time. Have the heads done one at a time, and have the cylinders honed out. Everything else I think that I put in there is right. He's talking about balancing the pistons. Okay, well, when I had the two pistons go in that car, they were shattered from the apron because um, the timing chain was loose. This is before I had done anything to the car. The timing chain was loose. It was the original GM stamped gear, so it's the original one that was in there. It's like I said before, it's in the clean sink to this day. It's still the original thing. Um, the intake valves were bent, but not the exhaust valves. Um, Somebody ran the wires not in the proper firing order. They ran them one in number 8 and 8 in number 1 to start off with, and I didn't bother to check all the rest of them. I just know that they're supposed to be 2468 on the passenger side and 1357 on the driver's side. So that's the way they're supposed to be set up. Now, I did run the car yesterday, and I have a friend that owns his own auto repair shop, not even a block away from my house. And he's had me work for him as well, too. And he heard the car running. He said there is no knock at all. Like I said, the knock is gone. It was a false knock. He even agrees with me that there could have been, chunks of sludge stuck in those threads, preventing it from being locked down the rest of the way, 35 foot-pounds. I mean, I understand Jeffro means really well. I mean, he's the kind of person that doesn't want anything to go wrong. He wants it to be done once and done right, and that's it. I understand that, okay? But at the same time, I don't feel that I should be underjudged for what I have done. I mean, ultimately, I did get the car running. And we're all supposed to be non-professionals here. So how come I'm not getting any clout for what I've done? But everybody else, when they do something even remotely close to that, it's all hay and parades and everything. With me, it's like boo, hiss. It kind of makes somebody not want to do this kind of thing anymore. That's the problem. Um, you got no positive influence. Everybody is negative and derogative. The only few people that I do know that are positive are people that, like right now, I got a friend of mine, Bubba Ayers. He's going through the same garbage I went through 2 years ago with the heart. And my thing is, believe it or not, I was smoking 10 cigarettes a day. You know what I'm down to now? Two. And I could tell you honestly, I bought 2 packs of cigarettes on Friday um, of last week, and I finished the last one this afternoon out of those 2 packs. And I have another 2 packs. So I had, what is it, one or two? Two out of this pack. But I don't want to smoke anymore because then comes the coughing, the hacking, and everything else, and I don't need that. Um, ultimately, Jeff is telling me, well, sell one of your radios and you have enough money to buy the kit. Yeah, I have enough money to buy the kit. That's not a problem. But I'm not going to go buying it right now. I'm trying to get my house set up so that way I don't fall into this rut again and have to deal with this mortgage company who's incoherent. A little bit at a time, and work on it. You guys don't need to see it because you guys have already seen what I've done. I did the timing chain, I did the gears. I had to go through 4 C-clamp tools in order to remove bent intake valves, and then now I'm not getting any oil going up top because the oil pan gasket is not doing its job. So it's just rushing right out of there. It's like a waste of oil. I have to be able to have that car up high enough so I can see what I'm doing under there. And I need lights under there. I can't see anymore because it's too dark. Let's see. I still got to get a couple other things too. I do need to get wheel cylinders. That much I do know. And a guy was I found out I actually have a corporate account. I never knew I had a corporate account. So the guy was going to actually give me the master cylinder for $50. It's usually $150. So there you go there. You know what I mean? The wheel cylinders, I think they're about 40-ish because they've gone up, Then I want to check the ball joints, the tie rod ends. I want to make sure that they're all okay as well, because you don't want to have problems with that. Let me see. Oh God. Yeah, if I'm yawning or something, it's because I've been up since 1. So right now I'm just chilling out in my bedroom, but I'm watching TV. So that way I don't have somebody complaining about me being myself in a live stream. Whether I'm covered up in a blanket, which is my prerogative, not theirs, or if I'm laying down. If I'm laying down, that's my business. I'm not here to kiss up to somebody because they don't like it. You don't like it? Don't join. That's all I got to say. But let me see what else. Oh, the friend of mine, he got me 4 um, decent tires. They're actually 225 70R15s. Now I can use them either way. I can actually use 2 of them for the back of the 57, or I can use 4 of them for the olds. I have Cutlass rims. Or what I could use the slotted 55 mag rims that I have for the front and put them on there. I think those are 15s. And then the back ones I'll have the Stingray rims. Of course, they're wider. They're 8-inch width. But the crappy tires that I have on there right now, they're just made to hold the car up. They're not. They're not going to be used for driving the car when it's ready. But the thing is like I said, with that car there, it's like with all the hassle and mess that I went through, I really am not looking forward to going through all that again. You know what I mean? That's my biggest downfall. I don't see why I should have to go through all that. I mean, if I bought all this stuff originally to begin with, okay, fine. I didn't replace all 8 pistons. But if the flat tops aren't broken, why replace them? And, somebody sitting there talking about balanced pistons. I don't think they're going to send you a box of pistons that are unbalanced. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're standard issue pistons. They're what's originally in there as it is, except these have valve release. What's the difference? You're going to have a little bit less oil pressure than than you would if you had all flat tops. You know what I'm saying? But it's not even going to be noticeable. This is from people that have worked on funny cars, who've had their cars on racetracks and stuff like that. It's not me that's saying it; it's them. It's the guy that has the Lakeside Tire around the corner from my place. He owns the shop. You know, he knows what I'm capable of doing as well. He's seen me work. So what you see here is not what you think it really is. You know what I'm saying? It's like you only see part of it. Even when I'm doing the videos, you're only going to see a little bit of what I'm doing. You're not going to see everything that I'm doing. Like those connecting rod bearings, they took a while for me to put in. And I didn't have any oil in them and stuff like that. That's the reason why the compression was low. Dried up, you know. And then once I put the Marvel's Mystery Oil back in there and fouled out the plugs, then the compression ratio went up. You know, I'm not saying that what I did was all right and perfect or anything, but I'm saying it was still a way that I actually got the car to start up. It runs every time. Every time if I go out there and put gas in that carburetor right now, it will start and it'll run until the gas runs out in the carburetor. Every time. The timing is set right. There's no tapping. There's a very, very small kind of ching noise, like metal tapping against metal, but it's so minute you really can't hear it. And even the guy that actually has his own shop, he listened to it. He said, I don't hear anything. He says, and he's younger than I am. And he goes, I don't hear any valve knock. He goes, and I don't hear any push rod knocking either. Or not push rod, connecting rod. He goes, you have it. Apparently you got it timed. Otherwise it wouldn't have started up. And, the compression must be enough to get it to go. Because if there wasn't enough compression in it, it wouldn't have started. It would have just kept cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking and cranking. When we found out that the old bearings. Oh, I'm trying to think which journal it was. I'm thinking it's probably like the third one in from the front. Okay, underneath. I think that what happened is that I've had this happen with a 52 Plymouth as well. I actually would sit there and start it, and then it would be like the car would have a dead spot. And that's usually from the bearing popping out. And it usually overlaps the other one. That doesn't necessarily mean it's destroyed something. But when that does that, it prevents it from running. Anybody that knows anything about those things knows that if that happens, she's not going to run. That's like having two bearings in one area. So the only way to fix it, and I've seen people do this with emery cloth. They repolish the journal. They use the plastic gauge in order to check the dimensions, make sure it's correct. Depending on what kind of car you're driving, like a 283 V8, it could be 0.002 or 0.003. And if you're within that realm, you're fine. I'm not right for what I did, as far as getting the car going that way, but for me it worked. And that's really what matters. The car runs, you know. So but right now I'm still fighting mucus and everything. I got like chest congestion and stuff like that. So I'm going through a lot of coughing, a lot of tissues. Uh, that's about it, really, on my end. I mean, after I do what I have to do with the brakes, I got three studs for the passenger side rear because 3 of them broke off with the lug nuts on them. So I got 3 brand new studs and 3 brand new lug nuts for that side. And then, we'll check the drums. I'm sure the drums and everything are fine. I think what it is, what most likely happened was the little rubber hoses, like in all cars, depending on how long it's sat and, um, how frequently they were used. That hose, the space in between, they start collapsing and the hole gets smaller. So the brake fluid doesn't go through the process. When it gets to a certain point, it just stops. That's it. Then you have no brakes. So it could either be that, or it could be what is it? One of the ends on the wheel cylinders. Um, could be corroded with a bunch of dried up brake fluid in there. You know how that is. It turns all flaky. Or it could be just the main line. Going from the master cylinder, they have these little exchange blocks. There's one on each side that I've seen on the 57, and I think it's just like near the upper control arm on both sides. I've seen it, and there's brake lines that run through that, and it could be one of those. It could be leaking from that. It could be leaking from one of those lines coming off of it. Um, I think what else it would be. That's pretty much about it. Usually, it's the simplest thing that goes bad first. There's no major catastrophe. You know what I mean? Um, I don't see anybody saying anything in here. Can you guys chat? Somebody say something? Or do I have to log out of here and relog back on because this doesn't look right? Let me see something. Hold on a second. All messages are visible. Yeah, so let's do that. What's this plus about? No, we're not starting no poll. Turn that. Let me see. Highlight, save, channel. I don't know what the heck this is. It doesn't look normal to me. It looks something different. But it does feel good not to actually have to light up all the time. I am looking forward to that. And now it's not like a habit forming thing anymore. It's more like I light up just because I don't know, I'm bored. Not because I need it, you know what I mean? Um, and that's what I've been waiting for. I'm trying to get to that point where I'm actually comfortable where I could actually say, you know what, I don't need one today. I don't have to have one tomorrow either. I can walk away from it and not have to deal with it. Uh, yeah, that's about pretty much it on my end. There's not really much going on over here. There's a what is her name? Wendy English. She is not blocked. I don't know I think what she did was she accidentally blocked me. I think she was in with JB and a couple other people who were making fun of me or whatever, and maybe she figured that I wasn't worth bothering with anymore, so she blocked me. But I hadn't blocked anybody. The only people I block are ones that have threatened me. That's it. Um, or ones that are constantly barraging me with BS. And yeah, I'm going to give it to them a little bit back, but I'm not going to sit there and constantly dwell on their page or whatever because if that's all they got going for them, so be it. The 2 full-size slot machines and VH tapes. Yeah, I still have all that stuff here, man. But we just got to figure out what it is. You could reach me on Facebook if you want, Richie. You'll see my picture on there, or you'll see the '57 Chevy on there. I think that's still part of my background or whatever. Because you really can't do much for messaging on here unless you leave a comment, and that kind of like peers into your privacy. Everybody else sees what's going on. You know what I mean? I don't. I really don't know because those slot machines are full size slot machines. They're not small ones. You know what I'm saying? They're. I know one of them's working. I know that works. One is coin and token. I don't know about the other one though. I think that's a cheap Japanese one. I don't think that one works. I have to check it, but I haven't been in there in a long time, so that's pretty much like a storage room right now. And then don't forget, I have boom boxes and all that other jazz too. So it's a lot of junk. VHS tapes, I have a ton of. I have VHS players, um, DVD players, all sorts of stuff. But mostly, what I use is my DVD players for my sitcoms and stuff because I got rid of cable. I don't want to deal with them. They tell you one price and they wind up charging over $186. It's called bait and switch. One is made. One was made in '95, but it works really well. I'm not feeling too bad. I'm still a little bit under the weather. I'm trying to get rid of this mucus and garbage. I have cut back on my smoking a lot, so I'm not. You can probably hear it in my voice too. I don't sound all raspy. Oh, good. Okay. Well, you're not far from me then. That's pretty good. Yeah, but you got to remember something, Richie. Those boom boxes are collector items. They're not just like. I mean, all right. For example, here I'll show you. This still has my power cord sticking out, but yeah. Okay. See that? That's like mint condition, and it works. And I feel like I've lost a little bit of weight too. Like um, for a while there, I was actually just trying to get some exercise walking around Walmart, but I had like gout or something on my foot, or maybe it's from. I don't think it's diabetes. I really don't, because I'm not diabetic. I have a problem controlling the intake sugar or the amount of sugar I intake. But even with that, I've cut back a lot. I think the only thing I have my sugar in my coffee in the morning just so that way I can function. Because I'm out driving at 5:30. I'm up at 3:30, but And for the past 2 days, I've been hoping the weather was going to clear up. And you know, when I started the car the other day, that's when I was really hoping it was going to clear up, so that way I could do something on it. But once I found out that jack was underneath the car and the oil was running right out the back, I was like, yeah, that's that crappy oil pan gasket. So I'm kind of like second thinking the gasket altogether and trying to do something else. Because I know that those rubber end pieces that are arched, they are not going to stay where I want them to stay. They're going to slide off and drop right in the hand. What, at the hospital? No, no, it's not that. No, no, no. Who is this? You guys have been sitting there hanging around with Brian too much. He's got diarrhea on the brain. No, it wasn't a heart attack. It was what do they call that? They did the same to me the last time too, but they wound up having me in the hospital and put a stent in my arteries. There's another word for it. I don't know any Shelley. And I actually used to work as a PCA myself, patient care associate. I used to take care of elderly people. And if you don't believe me, I have names I can throw at you. Darrell Brown, Stephanie Mills, David Fund. See, what was going on is when I had a problem breathing. So I wound up going to the hospital because it felt like it was a heart attack. Daryl who? I don't know who you're talking about. Who are you anyway? Do I know who you are? It's rattle can. That's what the problem is. And the metal actually has that those cracks in it. So the paint's got to be it's all got to be taken off and redone from scratch. Yeah, from where? Yeah, I mean it is kind of restored with everybody pushing the envelope and trying to get me to speed things up. It wound up getting done sloppy. So now I'm just going to wind up taking it and doing it my own time. I'm not going to show much of anything anymore because people don't appreciate what you show them when you show them what you've done. They do nothing but poke fun at you, badger you, and belittle and degrade you. And they act like they're better than you are. They act like they're a freaking master mechanic and everybody else is stupid. I don't even bother talking to him. I don't bother talking with any of those guys. They've done nothing but cause chaos and havoc for the past 2 years. And I don't even want to talk about them. I don't need my blood pressure raised. Waste of my time there, too. They're the last ones to talk about anybody else, what they do on their cars. Because those people don't work on cars. There's not a single video of them working on one where you'll see their mug in the face of a shot of a video. Doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not here for them. And if that's the way it's going to be, then I'm just going to totally disconnect from this too. We're going to have people start harassing me in my own live streams. That's ridiculous. No, I'm not going down there. I don't have money to go spending thousands of dollars and driving 9,000 miles down and back. For what? What's the point in it? To burn up my car? No, I don't think so. That was the first thing that was said to me too. Is when before I even had my 500 subscribers, it's like, well, now you can actually pay me the $89 for the no-name national fee, and we'll work on your subscribe count. I'm like, yeah, right. That's not the way you work with people. So who are you? Unfinished projects now? No. Nope. That car is for my enjoyment. As a matter of fact, it may not even be put on video anymore. I have no reason to bring that down there. I don't know. Why don't you go talk to Kevin Turner, Wayne? He has to seem to have all the knowledge of absolutely nothing. But he's got you fooled, though. I have no idea who that is. None at all. That's your famous Uncle Brian, Kevin Turner. The one that's been sitting there running his mouth for the past 3 weeks. Because he don't think that people are entitled to be themselves in their own live stream. That they're supposed to live up to his standards. I'm not here for him or anybody else. I don't care what his standards are. You can tell him to sit and spin for all I care. I don't care. That means exactly what to me? Nothing. I could care less. Nope. I know you guys are from your Uncle Brian clan, so why don't you go hang out with him? Yeah. Believe in everything he says. The all knowing of nothing. God only want to be like Charles Manson. It's called the Kiss Up to Brian clan. That's what it is. As he says, what does he say? Uh, no, that's not him. Somebody else says that. Waste my time. Good for you. So then what are you doing over here in my life? If you're one of them, you're one of the ones that mocks me and pokes fun at me and does all the same crap they do. Why don't you go back over there and, hang out with your buddies? All I can say to you is wish in one hand and crap in the other and see which gets filled first. No, they didn't. Nobody actually did any of the physical work but me. That's it. Nope. I have plenty of tracks up here. I have Island Raceway and I have English Town, and I don't need that. I don't need to go all the way down there. Yeah, okay. Whatever. What's up, Steve? Do me a favor, get rid of these two fools, will you? Proud Islander and Wayne Kerr kicked them to the curb. Be harassed by these morons. I'm tired of it. How's the packing going, Steve? Did you get everything squared away, or are you already moved? No, you need to chill out and stop harassing people. You want to kiss somebody's butt? Go kiss Brian's butt. Don't come over here and start your crap with me, pal. And want to play juvenile delinquent games? Go play with children. Seems to be the mindset of that whole clan anyway. It wasn't a massive heart attack, moron. It was a heart attack, but it was not life support. That phone was left in my friend's hands while I was at the hospital. She jumped to conclusions. Her information was not given to her by officials. I don't know what you're talking about, but Steve, get rid of this one too. This Proud Islander or whatever the hell you want to call it. He's one of Wilburn's clan buddies or Brian's clan buddies. I'm not interested in being harassed by a moron all night. Why don't you stop the BS and grow up? Stop acting like you got the mentality of a 3-year-old. Wilburn doesn't know the first thing about that car. I already have what's his name? A friend of mine, Steve, doing it. I'm not playing these games tonight. People want to be morons, do it elsewhere. You want to know something? I'll do it myself. Forget it. Now try it, wise asses. Bye. Now you're going too. Playing games with you freaking idiots. Next. Yeah, well, they won't be back, and the next time they do, if they do come back, they'll be permanently blocked. I got better things to do than waste my time with morons like that all day. Maybe they've got nothing better to do but play their little childish games, but I don't. What's up, out of order? See, that's the thing is with that Uncle Brian character. He started out being constructive criticism for about maybe one, little speech. I let it go. But he's been dragging it on for about a week and a half or longer. And he's just like digging on everything that anybody does. If I'm sitting there in my live stream with a comforter on my back, well, that's not up to his standards. So I'm supposed to kiss his butt and do the way things he wants me to do. You know what? I'm over 50 years old. If I'm cold and I feel comfortable putting a comforter on me, I'm going to do what I want. This is my life, not yours. Period. Yeah, but Jethro says that I need to actually have it machined and everything, which he's right. But my main thing was, like I said, get the car running. And ultimately, that's what I did. I got it running. All the other stuff is fine tuning. Like I had the screwdriver holding the throttle open. Okay. Well, that means that I got to adjust the throttle screw to the length of, the thickness of the screwdriver where it is in order to keep it running. Then I can take the screwdriver out. It's no big deal. But it has an oil pan leak because the frickin' cork shit that they use for that thing sucks. They're garbage. They're so damn thin they won't even hold friggin' oil in it. So, now I'm thinking about getting just a one-piece oil pan gasket just so I can get this car running, bring it up to temperature, and see what it actually does. You know what I'm saying? If it brings it up to temperature, I actually had a friend of mine, he has his own mechanic shop, and I'm not talking about fly-by-night, he's been here forever, okay? He knows who I am. I actually played the audio of that film footage that I posted on YouTube. with the engine running will be standing in front of it, okay? And he said the only thing he hears is a little bit of a clang, which is like it needs lube. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why it needs lube is because I poured oil in it, and the car was up on a jack, and the oil was draining right out the back. So that means something's not tightened down or something's not sealed. That's all that means, you know? But he turned around and people were making fun of me in the beginning about, what was it, a rod knock and all this stuff. And I kept telling him over and over and over and over again, it's a false rod knock. That rod knock is caused because of the cap being loose, because there's actually sludge in the threads for the connecting rod. That's what the problem was. Once I removed the sludge out of there, you hear it run now. There's no knocking. There's no rod knock at all. But it's like, I'm supposed to sit there and defend myself to the obliterating end on what I've done. Okay? And everybody in this so-called wonderful community is supposed to be a non-professional. Well, I've worked in a couple of garages. I'm not ASC certified, but I didn't get fired from them either. You know? And the other thing is like I said, he knew when I was playing that video, the timing is right on. It's spot on. And the only problem with the carburetor is the base gasket. It leaks. I'm just trying to think who this is now. We'll wait till this one says something derogatory or negative, and then that'll be the end of that too. Because I'm sure all these people are coming over from his little uh, live stream or his little chat thing. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. See, one of these fools actually did an icon like mine and said that I had gas. That's what they were doing when I was in another live stream. So they made it look like it was me saying it. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. See, that's okay. Let them do that because then I know all the names. I know what to look out for. And I know what to block. So don't realize that that's a stupid move to do. You're giving up all your information. Exposing it. What's your name, Hubcap? What's your first name? Bobby. My name's Rich. Okay, now I don't know if you actually have another name like Guns and Gears or something like that. There are a couple people that have been coming on here that were part of JB's live. Guns and Gears was part of. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Guns and Gears was part of Brian's live, Uncle Brian, whatever you want to call it. But he thinks that he's blocked. I told him before, I don't care who you're friends with, just don't come on my live stream and do what he does. You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference. It's not my right to tell you who you should be friends with. You know what I'm saying? I don't make that judgment. That's not my call. That's your call. And that is the difference between me and those guys. I don't sit there and try and talk crap about them unless I got somebody coming in here and talking crap about me via through them, And when that one guy said dart sport, that's why I said unfinished projects, because that's like his mating word. See, unfinished projects was one of the ones that I blocked on Facebook. He's still blocked to this day. And I will not unblock him. Between him, John, and ASO posting things on their community page about me, making fun of this, that, and the other thing, but they're the last ones to admit that they've done nothing themselves, that they can show of them working on something. And least of all, would they ever be able to do the way I did the thing, while it's still attached to the bell housing and the transmission, and still attached to the engine mounts. Most people don't have the patience to deal with that. You got to start here with another fake account. Because I don't have to have my bouncers block you. I can do it myself. It's not a problem. You want to come over here from your little clans or whatever and start picking on me? You're out of here. Well, no, not from YouTube. You won't, but from Facebook, I could show you the guy's profile picture, and it has his name right after it. In the beginning, he was acting like them too. Yes, sludge that was actually caked up in the threads for one of the connecting rods. Because it had dirt in there as well, and it was caked up. When I tried to torque it down, it had a stop position. It didn't go any further. So when we went to start it up, that's why it sounded like it had a rod knock, because it was still loose. Yeah, I know, they're delusional. That's the problem. The problem is that the reason why I know for a fact that that was the problem is when I took it apart, I took my, what was it, the diesel fuel from the clean sink, and I took a horsehair paintbrush. And what I did was I brushed the threads until all that crap came flying out of there, running into a pan. Once that was done, then I put everything back together, and the knock was gone. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it, buddy. Steve, did you move to your new place yet or no? Well, I mean, the sludge was removed. Or are you talking about Steve? He's removed the other people. That's what he means by done. Because he knows that I shouldn't be harassed by these fools, you know? That's how they get their jollies off. They got the mentality of a 3-year-old, like I said. Like a bunch of children that take everything you say out of context and twist it around to fit their demented thinking or train of thought. Because they're all watching. They're all part of that clan. They'll mention something about it later. They usually do. See, when I first a couple of months ago, I had a problem with two hacks because he was taking everything too seriously. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I tried to explain to him, I'm not an ASC certified mechanic. I never claimed to be, but I do have enough knowledge to take apart something and put it back together so that it would run. You know what I mean? No. What I did was when I first took that engine apart, I bought the clean sink. I bought a sandblast cabinet. I bought a compressor. I bought air guns. I bought a hose. I have a ton of tools, and I have a what do you call a not an engine stand, but I have the thing to pull the engine out of the car. And let's see, what is it? DRC Racing. He and Will were promising me an engine stand. You know that they would deposit the money in my PayPal. I don't. They came here out of order. I didn't go to them. They came here. That's why Steve was, blocking them, and so am I, because they're part of that BS. You know what I'm saying? Those two people now. Now we got two people. We got the NNN clan, and now we have the Bryan clan. So they don't know when to quit, and that's why I was kind of like reluctant to go live tonight. But I haven't been on here in a while, so it's like enough is enough. But anyway, like I said, as far as the engine stand goes with DRC and Dying Breed Garage, well, Will actually lied for Dave, and Dave was sending off some signals of BS that his father passed away, and I was like, I'm not going to hassle him about it. Family members or family situations come first. So let him take whatever time he needs. Then he turned around and he told me that he was delivering golf carts. It's something that he does on the side. So I figured, all right, well, whenever you're ready. And then, you let me know. But he acted like, he was contacting me, which he wasn't. And, Will from Dying Breed Garage was sitting there acting like he had talked to me a month ago. He did not. If it was only to let me know that he was still busy, which I was showing respect towards him, because that's what he had to do. I'm not going to sit there and expect, um, if I offered somebody something, I'm not going to sit there and lie to them about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and try and conjure up a story in order to try and make them look like a fool. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know, if it's too much for you to afford, don't worry about it. If I need it bad enough, I'll go get it off of eBay or I'll go down to Harbor Freight myself and buy it. Yeah, I could. I could use an engine stand. Yeah, believe me, so many things would have gone into that engine a lot better, and I would have been able to hone that thing out and done everything the proper way if I was able to take it out. But I had nothing to put it on. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't do anything. You can't work on everything while it's dangling in the air by a couple of chains. You know what I mean? It's got to be in a position where you can actually turn it and lock it, so that way you can put things in the right way. When is enough enough? When you're done giving me a bunch of BS and playing your fake account things, coming into my live and trying to insult me. Because if you don't stop, you're going to be gone out of here in a minute. This is that other one. They just created another account. Guarantee it. So, because they lied and everything else, I don't even go to their stream. I unsubscribe to them too. Dude, man, I don't have a reason to lie to somebody. If I'm going to sit there and tell you, like, all right, for example, if I'm going to have a contest about Hot Wheels or something like that, and somebody wins it, they're going to get what, they were told they were going to get. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you about it or dangle it in front of your face like some little, toy. Come on, really. Yeah, they're still trolling, Steve. I think it's that New Bedford LLC and that Shale O'Doul. I think they just created another account. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. We already know that they're not, stable. No, not tonight. Not tonight. I have to come up with something. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do. I have a lot of stuff that I could give away. I really do. Um, between baseball cards, um, Hot Wheels, stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that I can give away. You know what I mean? But I have to think of something first. But I'm not doing it for subscriber count. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And I'm not sitting there charging somebody for something either. You know what I mean? Like I already said when I started this, I'm not here for, I'm not here to be a sellout. In other words, I'm not going to do what is it that those commercials that the other people do. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm here for. My purpose for this whole thing, for me doing the things the way I did, and maybe because I got sidetracked by all the other bull that was going on here, I didn't get my point across well to the people that may have wanted to try and learn something. But there's another way of going to do things to get it done properly if you take your time, um, without being charged, you know, the outrageous rates of a mechanic. And if you have any mechanical ability and you know how to put things back together the way you've taken them apart, chances are you'll have the thing running properly. You just got to remember. Now, my biggest problem was like I try to explain to people over and over again. The 57 was not my first timing chain. Okay. I had a 50 Dodge Coronet that had that problem. I had a 1978 Ford Thunderbird that had that problem. I had a 265 Ford Fairlane 500s with the 289 that had the timing chain problems as well. The Thunderbird actually had the fiberglass coating over the gear. It's nasty. No, not yet. I haven't been able to do anything, Steve. The It's been raining 2 days now. Today it rained all day. Yesterday it rained all day. So I couldn't do nothing. Yeah, I still get those attacks every once in a while. So it's like a dry heave cough. Uh, uh, See, every time I mention all the other people, that's usually when they start sprouting out of the woodwork and start posting their own nasty thing on their community page. So I would expect I'm going to see something tonight. Almost always do. Well, that's it for me. I'm not smoking anymore tonight. I'm done. Uh, See, that's the best part about this now is that I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to keep lighting up. I can put it off and just say, heck with it, I'm done. You know? It's not a necessity anymore. It's just a pain. That's it. So, Bobby, what do you work on? What kind of car are you working on? Uh, working on an engine, Bob, or are you working on suspension or interior? What? Or you not working on a car? What are you doing? You never had to work on what? See, that's the reason why I work on things so that way, I mean, everything is a learning experience. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get it the first time, you might get it the second or third time. Oh, Honda Accord, yeah. Well, that'd be like me sitting there working on my Ram 1500 4x4 crew cab with the what do they call that, throttle body clips that the mechanics broke in order to prevent the freaking car or truck from starting. I guess they thought that I was going to be like senile about seeing that too, but well, sometimes it's better that you do because you don't know what the hell somebody else is doing to your car, especially if you make a bad wave with them. You know what I'm saying? Like they can make a problem for you. It's like going to a burger place and mouthing off to the person that's serving you your food, and they turn around, they go in the back and get your food, and before you get it, they spit on it. No, New Bedford. What actually happened was having the oil pan empty of any oil at all while I was putting connecting rod bearings in for a month and a half. Okay. Putting the oil pan back up without any oil in it caused the rings to dry up. Okay. That's what happens. So, in order to bring them back, sometimes what you have to do is put everything back together, put some Marvel Mystery Oil in the cylinders where the spark plugs are. I'm not the first one to say that, and I'm sure as hell not the last one to ever do that either. There are tons of people on YouTube that have done that. Yeah, well, so is my 57. But you want to know something, Bob? The cars and numbers matching. You know what I'm saying? The engine drivetrain that's in it is actually the original from the factory back in 57. The only thing that's different is, like I said, it's got Number 2 and number 3 valve release pistons. Has new rings for them as well. But the connecting rods are the same. They're the originals. The wrist pins are the ones that go for the pistons that, I bought. The valves that I have in it, the intake valves, are the same exact ones that were originally in it, just not bent. You know what I mean? All right, out of order. We'll see you around. Take it easy. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. It's not worth anything to you, okay? The parts alone are worth a lot more than you think. Just because it's a 4-door doesn't mean the parts won't fit a 2-door. That's the one thing you keep escaping in your mind. The hood is the same. The front fenders are the same. The trunk is the same. Okay? All the chrome pieces that go on the side, the lights, the bumpers, front and rear, the hood rockets, the scripts, the dash trim, okay? The dash horn ring, the steering wheel. All that stuff is the same. The armrests are the same. The door panels are the same. Okay? The internal engine parts are the same. If you notice the 150, the 210, and the 283, look at the radiator, the position of it. And one it's on the outside. Okay? On the other it's on the inside. But it's backed off. Okay? And then in the last one, which is the 283, the radiator's on the inside. The numbers on that car, the radiator numbers, the intake manifold numbers, the head numbers, the starter numbers, the carburetor numbers, all that is original to that car. It's about as original as it's going to get. Now, if I wanted to get down to the brass tacks of it all, I could even tell you the color of the car. The top was surf green, and the bottom was Highlander green. So the top looked like a seafoam, and the bottom looked like a candy apple green. And if I want to, I can always go back and paint it over to its original color. Yeah, but the problem is with those reproduction parts, if you know anything about reproduction parts, they're not stamped the same way. They don't fit. They're rejects. They're not done properly. Don't you watch DD Speed Shop? Didn't you see his Camaro? Did you see the trunk area? Gotta pay attention, man. Any 57 Chevy that's running with its original engine, I can easily get 10 grand for. And the more money I put into it, and the better off it looks, the more I can get out of it. And I'm not talking about a $100,000 car, but in my book, I don't need a $100,000 car. I have a 69 Olds Delta 88 Royale 2-door right now that has bucket seats. It has a console shifter on the floor. It has a 455 rocket with a 12-bolt posi rear and a 400 trains. That car restored is a money car. It's a Delta 88 2-door, not a 4-door. The one that's the old man type car is the Delta 98. That's the boxy one. Do you know how many people take 4 doors and do 2-door conversions? Go watch DD Speed Shop. He's out of Canada. The engine alone is worth money, pal. It's a 455 rocket. That's a 7.5 cubic inch. That's bigger than your Mustang. That's even bigger than your Hellcat. You know what the funny thing is, Bob? A lot of people will sit there and dig on somebody else, and the reason why they dig on somebody else is because they don't have a car that has any value, or they don't know the first thing about cars to put a value on it. You try and relocate parts for a car that's 65 years old. And I'm not talking about aftermarket parts, I'm talking about OEM parts. There's a big difference. If you look at DD Speed Shop where he was putting that Camaro together, the 67, the whole piece that he put on the back on the driver's side, okay? You look where that quarter piece meets the trunk latch, the trunk lid itself. It was off by about a half inch to 3/4 of an inch. He had to cut that out in order to put another piece of metal from his old rear piece and weld it on there. That's how screwed up the stampings are. And I told him before, I said, you got to research these things before you buy them. Because 9 times out of 10, they are such rush jobs that people don't even pay attention to that. Going to finish it, but it's going to take time. I'm not into rushing anymore. I have new door panels in there that I made from scratch. I made a new headliner for it. I have kick panels for inside it. I have to recover the seats. And worst case scenario is the paint that's on it, I'll grind it all off and I'll go put it back to its original color, which will be like a chalky mint green, chocolate chip mint green up top. And the bottom will be a candy apple green. That's exactly what the colors are. The bottom was a Highlander green, and the top is a I can't remember what the hell it is now. Surf green. You did. Right on out of my live. Now you won't be coming back in my live. How about that, pal? Yeah, resist that. I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to happen. See, this is the kind of childish crap that I got to put up with. These people are from those two groups, and they have such a low self-esteem of themselves that this is what they resort to. Well, he's gone now. He ain't coming back. He wasn't put on a timeout. He was removed. Done. Period. He can make all the fake account he wants. He'll be gone again too. Yep. Like I said, he's still got others waiting in the wings. They're just gonna do the same crap. Some people need to grow up. Yeah, that's all they're gonna do. They're not gonna sit there and tell the truth. It's much easier for them to play mindless child games than it is to be an adult. Sadly, those people don't belong in society. They belong in some, like group or whatever, under watch and under medication and sedated. Let somebody pick apart at their brain and see what the hell's making them tick and what's wrong with them. Because I didn't think I was going to like the color. That's why. I really don't. I really didn't want to do that color. You know what I mean? I'd rather the turquoise with a black top. because the door panels and the seats and the headliner and the dash and the kickboards and the carpeting all would match. It wouldn't look like a pinata. But right now, like I said, I'm not really worried about the paint or anything else, as far as that goes. I just want to, be able to drive it. I don't care if it looks like the rattiest thing on the road. At this point, I could care less. Yeah, well, that's why I said, Bob. That's the thing. They just, like I said, they need to grow up and they don't know how to. No, it isn't because I had a '69 Impala that had the crack vein lines in the metal. Okay, and it's the actual metal. There's something in the metal that actually causes that paint to do that. If you were to sit there and do that with my '69 Impala, sand off the paint right down to bare metal. Within the metal, if you're looking at it, you're going to see lines going in it. That's the way it was formed. When it cooled or whatever, it did that little crack lines in them. And it's not just in one area, it's usually all over the car. It's not necessarily bad metal. And actually, that kind of metal is more sought after than, the ones that doesn't have that in it, from what I've heard, you know. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. I mean, it's not something that I would go for, but some people are into that. It's not bad metal. It's just the way it was produced. Hey, look, Mickey, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. You want to start? We'll kick you out of here too. Okay? I don't have time for this manipulation crap. You want to find out about it? Look it up on the internet. I'm not going to sit here and have a debate with you about it. Well, apparently you don't know as much as you think you do. When I say that, I mean you should look a little deeper online in order to target it better because you're not looking under the right circumstances. I seen something about it years ago when I had my 69 Impala Custom. That's how I knew. They were talking about it back then. It's not, you know what? Whatever, man. I don't have time for this. Go play a childish mess somewhere else. I told him I'm not going to sit there and argue with him. He wants to keep pushing the damn envelope? Fine. Push yourself right out the door, pal. You know, these people seem to forget one thing. After all, this is still my channel, not theirs. You're not going to come in here and walk all over me and think you're going to get away with it. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just adding more fake accounts. That's all it is. Just a big game to them, that's all. See, I would give you a moderator thing there, Bob, but I'm not sure if I know who you are yet. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're going to tell me your guns and gears. I mean, you seem to be decent, but I mean, so did a couple of other people too, and they wound up turning too. Yeah, but I don't even know why they want to do that. It's like, why bother if you know you're going to wind up being removed? And your words that you're going to use towards me don't hold any bearing because I just ignore it. I have this thing like I did when I was a kid. It's called selective hearing. It goes in one ear and comes right out the other ear. If it's something I don't want to hear, that's the way it works, and you're gone. That's it. And you're out of here. Enjoy talking to yourself, moron. As we say, Bob, next. Bring it. Who's the next one to get booted to the curb? Who cares? You could tell him that, and $1.95 will buy me a newspaper every day. That's how much bearing what he's got to say holds anything to me. He's another one that's a keyboard warrior, but he doesn't have anything to back up his story. Where are his videos of him working on any cars? And no, this is not a sellout for YouTube either, because I don't want to sell out with anything for YouTube. That's not what I'm here for. But I'm not here to take crap from you or anybody else either. I'm done. And if you guys keep pulling this crap, you're done because you won't be here. And you can go find somebody new to harass. Go find some little twerp or whatever that's going to put up with your garbage. Stupid garbage. Oh. That's the Uncle Brian guy, the one that's been running his mouth, who has no idea what he's talking about. He actually acts like he's got dementia. I don't need for anybody to get me to do this, that, or the other thing. This is my channel, not yours. I'm not 20 years old. I'm not going to put up with your childish crap. Nobody's crap. You want to do that on your channel? Be my guest. You're not going to do it here. Go make somebody else realize something. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody here. This is what they've been doing for the past 2 years. It's not just these clowns, but it's all the other ones from the other groups too. Now you get to see firsthand what I have to deal with. And then you go to their community page and you'll see what they post there too. I started to post about Uncle Brian too on my community page, but you know what? That's a waste of my time. You can't reach somebody who's unobtainable mentally in the brain. Even smacking them upside the back of the head won't help. They still stay in a comatose state. No, you can't be reached, moron. Not me. I don't have nothing to prove to you. I'm already over 50. So if you don't like what I'm saying, fuck off or get out. I'm not here to kiss your butt or anybody else's for that matter. And I'm not here to take any of your crap either. Want to start waves? I got a wave for you. Wave your butt out the door. Just like this. Goodbye, moron. Now, go mess with that. Now you can sit there and go like this for the rest of the night. Because you got nobody to talk crap to. Oh, and any comment that they put up there on my live stream can also be removed. So I don't think that they're too with it upstairs. Now you see what I got to deal with. That's the reason why I don't do live streams. Because I got better things to waste my time on than that mess. And that's another reason why I won't do any of their little skit commercials because, like I said, I'm not a sellout. I'm not interested in, pushing somebody's um, product, for a couple of bucks, especially when they can't push it themselves. And I don't care that I actually, I'm over 500 subscribers. I'm not doing any of their frigging things. I'm not interested. They can send it all they want, and I'll send it right back. Not interested. If I was meant to be an actor, it would have been when I was younger, not now. I don't know who that is, Bob. I have no idea. Nothing. That other guy got removed as well, running his mouth. I guess these people think that I'm some kind of pushover or whatever because for the most part I'm laid back. I relax. But when you push my buttons, no, I don't think so. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? And I've been on YouTube since, what was it, a year after YouTube started. See how long it's taken me to get 500 subscribers? Does it look like I want to push some damn frickin' product for some unknown company? No. Well, let's see. He said, correct. You cannot be reached. No, you're not going to reach somebody that's not going to listen to you, especially when you're talking nonsense or talking out of your ass. You know what the thing is, too? Is I think that they're all pissed off because the car that I have, or the cars that I have, is not something that I found in a junkyard. You know what I'm saying? Or up in the field somewhere where everything was ripped out of it. You know? These were cars that were actually able to be put back together. And I don't think they can deal with that. You know, I think that's a problem for them. They're not the best things in the world. I'm not going to tell you they're trailer queens because they're not. But that 57 Chevy is a lot more solid than a lot of 57s I've seen. And I've seen people pay almost $10,000 for nothing but a rusted, rotted hull with no drivetrain, no engine, no transmission, nothing, no seats, nothing. And they spent a fortune on it. Me, I saw the car on Facebook. I never went down to look at it, you know, in person. I had it dollied up to my house. I paid $2,500 for the car, and I paid them $500 to dolly it to my house. The guy thought I was full of BS and everything else until he got the car here. Yeah, I know. But I go all the way back to my boom boxes. You know, I've done repair work on them too. I have a couple of boxes that actually have internal Bluetooth. Repurposed again. But, you know, you got all these people that actually look at me like I'm an idiot. You don't have any idea who you're dealing with. You really don't. You know, maybe that's my whole game plan. Maybe my whole point is to make myself look like I'm stupid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, after all, I worked as a PCA for 15 years, not certified. Okay, and that's what the medications. You know, that's doctor's appointments, um, physical therapy, all that stuff. Okay. Let's see. Worked in the garages. I worked in what, three different bus companies in the garage, and then I've worked for, well, let's see. We had Alvino Automotive. We had Bergen Tire in Wayne, and we had Lakeside Tire. So I worked for them. Then, you know, when I was younger, I worked for Pep Boys and, you know, some run of the mill jobs, places like that. I worked in the body shop for Jordan Transportation. You know, it's like the people have no idea. They have no idea who I am. They don't know, you know. But instead of allowing themselves to get to know somebody, they would actually rather assume the position of an ass. And hey, your loss. Yeah, I know. I've seen those accounts. That's just to put them on the board. That's all that is. But see, the thing is with me. Oh, tell you the truth, like I took up 3D graphic design art when I was in college. I also did freelance art, and I have some stuff left over from when I think there's about 4 or 5 drawings left that I have, but I did a lot more of them when I was younger. I did some so off the wall stuff that it would make your head spin. Um, then I worked with a roofing contractor. I worked with a painting contractor. I worked with a drywall hanger. I worked on a farm, actually a couple of them. Um, the hell else did I do? Oh, Commercial Food Workers Union, Local 1245. It wasn't life support. It was bad information that somebody who was like a nervous wreck was giving. Wasn't by her. She gets like frazzled. So she was giving the wrong information. It wasn't life support. I left my cell phone with her. That's why. She was at my house and I was at the hospital. Crap. Yeah, I think this Joe Jackson. I think this is Fast Staying 89 Joe. No, it wasn't. It was actually like, see, the last time when I had this, it was supposed to have been a heart attack. I don't know how, because I was still walking around. I had no shoes on my feet. I had no shirt on, and I was moving cars around in my driveway. The ambulance took me to the hospital. The next thing I know, I'm having a stent put in my arteries. Then they're telling me it was a heart attack. Then they're telling me I was diabetic. What the hell else was it? Then they gave me the pills that actually keeps the stent in your arteries. You know what I mean? Um, this time around, it was pretty much the same mild thing that happened last time, but they didn't take any chances. They ran me right down to freaking hospital. No questions asked. Nothing. It was like the same thing all over again. I'm like, I'm not sitting in this hospital for 6 days and letting my life go to hell in a handbasket. So I was in there one evening, and the next afternoon, like late afternoon, I signed myself out because it was like a mild, uh, not even a soreness, like a muscle spasm, you know. And the girl that actually was telling people the information, she actually had my cell phone. I was in the hospital. She was here at my house. Okay. I call her sis because she's there when I need her. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have a problem or something like that, um, she has time for me. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not all about herself, like the way a lot of women are nowadays. Um, but the problem is that she gets like anxiety issues or whatever, and she starts. I don't want to say, well, yeah, it actually is not telling the truth because she's saying stuff other than what really actually happened. Nope. Go play your $500 on something else. No, nope, not for sale. Goodbye. I don't think they get it. You know. Well, I don't care what it sounds like. I really don't. You got a problem with it? Bye bye. Nobody told you you have to stay here. I don't want you in my life, Brian. Or should I say, Kenneth Taylor? You've ran your mouth long enough. Constructive criticism is only for one day, not for 2.5 weeks, asshole. I'm getting out of here, Bob. I've had enough. Thanks for stopping in. I'll talk to you later.